Dozens of calls tying up police.
Our FBI analyst says even a hoax poses a real danger to public safety. And closer to a fix. We finally have some answers on a likely cause of the cracks that shut down San Francisco's Transbay Terminal.
And ready for the road? Bay Area drivers get a chance to sound off before they share the streets with these truly driverless cars. KPI X5 News begins right now with a wave of bomb threats forcing Bay Area police to scramble.
The emails demanding Bitcoin forced evacuations in cities across the U.S. and Canada. Well, all believed to be a hoax, the threats came into every corner of the Bay Area. At least a dozen in San Jose, 5 in Palo Alto and Santa Rosa, a handful on the peninsula and East Bay, and more than 20 in the city of San Francisco. One of the threats going to the San Francisco Fire Credit Union on California Street, just one of many financial institutions targeted that prompted an evacuation of its neighbor, the Jewish Community Center.
Because it's a Jewish organization, we have had to put a lot of thought into security.
The JCC cleared out so quickly, some of the swimmers were forced to wait hours in the streets in wet swimsuits and bathrobes. Bomb-sniffing dogs helped clear the scene, but there were many others, all apparently random. But police are still not taking any chances.
We're not going into any specifics about the emails. That's to protect the investigation. The San Francisco Police Department's Special Investigations Division is charged with investigating bomb threats, and they will be taking over these cases.
Now, every report was checked out, but nothing was found at any location. Tonight, the investigation is zeroing in on who could be behind all this trouble.
And the wording in those emails is providing some clues. KPI X5's Melissa Kane spoke to our FBI security analyst about the threats and why they may be happening now. Melissa?
Yeah, we're here at the San Francisco Fire Credit Union. It's one of many, many places that received that bomb threat email today. And as you said, it is right across the street from the Jewish Community Center, which evacuated completely today. So there was a lot of activity for several hours right here. And so we asked our security expert who would want to cause all this panic.
Thing that went through my mind was there was a recent attack or, the shooting in Paris.
KPI X5 security expert Jeff Harp is a former FBI assistant special agent in charge of San Francisco. He says law enforcement is already on high alert during the holidays because that's when people in Western countries gather together.
Well, typically around Christmas, there's always been, threat briefings around the holidays. But we've had several incidents occur, Pier 39, the Christmas Day bomber up in Portland. I mean, all these things have happened.
He says all the threats have to be taken seriously. Even ones that are hoaxes can be used to lure first responders to a place where they can face real danger.
Eric Rudolph used that tactic. Other people have used that tactic, and when they've made bombs, they've had secondary devices that target first responders.
And while we don't know who sent the emails, the language indicates the writer is from another country. For example, one email says, if you are late with the payment, explosive will detonate.
It's more than likely, from what I've seen, is something that's been developed overseas.
But Harp says they're probably not ISIS or Al-Qaeda because the emails demand $20,000 in Bitcoin, and that's not something that Islamic extremists often do. And while he's glad there have been no actual bombs, these threats are still dangerous.
What comes to my mind is that law enforcement is now occupied doing something dealing with a hoax when there's real crime being committed.
Now, Harp says that whoever sent these emails would, of course, be subject to a number of criminal penalties, but they could also be sued in civil court and be forced to repay law enforcement agencies for all the time their officers have had to spend chasing down and investigating these hoax threats. Alan?
Absolutely. A lot of resources used today. Melissa, thanks so much. We have an update on breaking news that's still developing this hour. Major traffic problems in Union City right now because of this flooding. PG&E was apparently doing some work on a gas line along Union City Boulevard when the crew somehow broke a water pipe, which then saturated the area. Chopper 5 overhead less than an hour ago. Union City crews are now repairing that pipe, but they do expect to have part of Union City Boulevard closed off for the next couple of hours.
It was likely defects and holes cut into the steel that led to structural beam cracking at San Francisco's Salesforce Transit Center back in September. The beams cracked just 6 weeks after the $2 billion center opened to the public. Contractors sent samples of the steel to a lab on the East Coast for testing. That company says flaws in the steel developed during fabrication and then got worse as the steel was reheated when crews used torches to get into it. Now crews will have to bolt steel plates onto both sides of the girder to reinforce it.
The closure of the transit center was a big disappointment, and it's very inconvenient for the public. We want to open it up as soon as safely possible, and today was a big milestone. We have a lot of new data from an independent lab.
The Transbay Joint Powers Authority, which is in charge of the building, says there's still no exact timing for the center's reopening. New at 6, Bay Area drivers are getting ready to share the road with self-driving cars.
Ready or not, autonomous car company Waymo gearing up to test its vehicles. The Google-owned company has already gotten approval from the DMV to operate in 5 peninsula cities. KPI X5's Devin Feely live in Mountain View, where that car of the future getting closer to reality, and drivers do have some questions about it. Devin?
Yeah, imagine if I told you guys 5 or 10 years ago that you would soon be sharing the road with cars that might not have a human driver behind the wheel or maybe not anywhere inside of that vehicle. Well, that time is soon becoming a reality. And if that idea still makes you a little bit nervous, you're not alone.
I would feel a little leery until it's been on the road for a while.
Waymo got permission from the DMV in late October to roll out a fleet of 39 fully self-driving cars in 5 peninsula cities, including Mountain View, Palo Alto, Sunnyvale, Los Altos, and Los Altos Hills. The company's holding a series of public meetings to provide information to people who question if the technology is truly road-ready.
Like anything with technology, getting all the glitches out at the beginning, my concern is, what if anything major happens in the beginning that causes accidents?
According to the DMV, Waymo's self-driving fleet can travel up to 65 miles per hour and operate in light rain and fog day and night. They are not, however, permitted to drive in snow or ice, heavy rain, on flooded roads, off-road, or on one-lane mountain roads. The DMV says their permit doesn't require a human driver behind the wheel or in the car at all.
For any technology to be developed, there is going to be some sacrifices that people have to go through.
Engineering professor Fred Perez says while the technology isn't perfect, it's getting closer every day.
Unfortunately, there could be accidents that are going to take place, but we are all moving in the right direction. The application of driverless vehicles would be a tremendous opportunity for mankind.
But tell that to anxious drivers who fear that the road ahead for self-driving cars may still be a bit bumpy.
Definitely for me, that sense of more machines taking over our activities is more unsettling than gratifying or satisfying.
I talked to a spokesperson for Waymo, and they say that while their ultimate goal is a fully autonomous vehicle, in the initial phase of this testing, they will have a human behind the steering wheel, or at least somewhere inside of that vehicle. In Mountain View, Devin Feely, KPI X5.
That'll provide some comfort. All right, Devin, thanks. State regulators are taking action to set new rules on when utilities can shut off power to prevent wildfires. The CPUC voted today to begin crafting those rules. PG&E has the authority to turn off power lines in high winds to keep them from sparking fires. Regulators say that improved rules could help utilities with the decision making and make sure that the shutoffs don't do more harm than good. Investigators are looking into whether a failed PG&E transmission line ignited last month's Camp Fire in Butte County. The utility had warned about shutting off power in the area the day of the fire, but never did it.
$1 billion and up to 15,000 new jobs. Apple is going big in Texas. Today, Apple execs and Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced the company's plans to expand in Austin. The new development will be 133 acres on prime property. Site preparation will start in the new year. The goal to open the first building in the next 2.5 years.
Thank you all so very much for being here today and for the announcement of this enormous campus here in Austin, Texas. As everyone here knows, we always say that everything is bigger in Texas.
This makes Apple Austin's largest employer, and we're incredibly proud of that.
This is certainly welcome news for the city of Austin, especially after losing the bid for Amazon's headquarters just a few months ago. In addition to Austin, Apple also has plans to build new sites in Seattle, San Diego, and Culver City in the next 3 years. An unprecedented vote to shift water from farms to fish, and it could mean cutbacks for Bay Area water districts. State water regulators voted to reallocate billions of gallons of San Joaquin River water from farms and cities to help revive struggling salmon and steelhead populations in the Delta. The reductions mean Bay Area households could have to curb water use by 20% or more.
Anytime you get less water, we're going to be concerned. We just got to continue with our water conservation programs. Water conservation is a way of life. We're in an arid condition, and we'll keep on sitting down with the state water control boards and them and still negotiate and discuss.
The plan does allow for water agencies to fund improvements to rivers as a trade-off for smaller water cuts. The water districts have until March to work out alternatives.
A longtime church in Martinez is asking for help as the ground under their feet is literally slipping out from under them. Second Baptist Church off Las Juntas near Thomas Street is already dealing with some serious damage. KPIX5's John Ramos explains why.
The Second Baptist Church began in a Martinez basement 57 years ago. So when they moved into this building in the mid-90s, it felt like a mansion. Each week, church members come here to worship. But it is out back that their faith is being tested. The building backs up to Alhambra Creek, and heavy storms have eroded the bank nearly to its foundation. The property lost its retaining wall in a 2005 flood, and the problem has steadily worsened over the years. The concrete walkway now hangs precariously over the creek, and inside the floor is cracked and the kitchen slants dramatically.
Common sense tells us that we cannot continue at the rate this is going. We're going to be gone. We're going to have to find some other way to hold worship.
The cost just to level the foundation and build a new retaining wall would be about $250,000, money the working class congregation doesn't have. The city says property owners are responsible for their half of the creek, but the opposite bank is protected by a concrete cover built in the 1940s by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
I think part of the blame should be on them. When they did that wall on that side, they should have did this side too.
This church provides food and comfort to the poor and down and out. But now, in a city that spent money to protect a beaver's dam on the same creek, the church seems to be on its own.
It's ironic that people can do more for animals than they do for people, and that's sad.
We want to remain here in Martinez, and so we're just appealing now for some help with our building and with our grounds.
The church has set up a push pay account online and is hoping the public will donate enough so they can make the repairs and keep their mansion from slipping away. In Martinez, John Ramos, KPIX5.
An Apple smash and grab that didn't go as planned. These burglars got the smash part, but an unexpected security feature foiled their heist.
Plus, clone from some of the world's oldest and largest trees. A Bay Area scientist used ancient DNA to create a supergrove of redwood.
And a tech billionaire broke the rules with his lavish wedding. The creative way he's making amends and how we can all benefit. Some breaking news to get to right now out of Georgia. A police officer and a suspect were both killed following a traffic stop. It happened just east of Atlanta. The traffic stop led to a foot chase and the officer was shot. Arriving officers then shot and killed the suspect. We are hearing a police dog was also shot and wounded in the incident. We'll have much more on this as we get it. Alan?
This evening, 3 suspects were in custody after police say they robbed a CVS pharmacy in Benicia. Officers chased those suspects to Pleasant Hill. Now, 2 of them were caught right away. The third was found hiding underneath a freeway overpass. As you see, officers managed to draw that suspect out and arrest him, and most of the stolen drugs were recovered. And in Berkeley, a smash and grab burglary at an Apple store didn't go as planned. happened on 4th Street just before 3:30 this morning. The would-be thieves used a truck to try to smash their way into the store, but a metal security gate foiled the burglars' plans, and thanks to that security gate, nothing was stolen, but police found glass littering all over the place. The truck's engine, well, that was still running.
The recent E. coli outbreak in romaine lettuce is now being linked to one California farm. The CDC says bacteria was traced to a farm in Santa Barbara County. It's owned and operated by Adam Brothers Farms. Officials say E. coli was discovered in the sediment of a water reservoir used to irrigate the leafy greens. Agencies are still investigating if there are other possible sources. There have been a total of 59 cases of the illness across 15 states since it was first reported in October.
New at 6, some saplings don't look like much right now, but they could grow one day to be some of the tallest trees in the world. It's because they carry ancient DNA from some giant redwoods.
KPX5's Don Ford explains how scientists are cloning a supergrove to help fight climate change.
Working with the Presidio Trust, a nonprofit research firm, Archangel, has perfected the technique of extracting DNA from long-lost trees. Those saplings will be planted here.
The soil is carefully prepared, tilled and fertilized. An irrigation system is almost complete.
This valve is remotely operated from a controller down there.
These are not your normal coastal redwood tree saplings. They are created in a laboratory. Pure DNA clones.
It's like you're keeping the same tree alive for eternally.
Chopped down in 1890, the Fieldbrook redwood was believed to be one of the largest trees in North America, 35 feet in diameter, more than 400 feet tall, and 3,000 years old. Now a rotting stump, until Archangel cloned its DNA.
100% of the DNA through this cloning process.
An exact copy. The Presidio Trust is replanting 75 clones. They are delighted.
This brings to the Presidio ancient trees, the likes of which we just don't have in the park here.
Steve says the expected rainy weather coming this weekend is perfect for these special trees to start a new life. In the Presidio, Don Ford, KPIX5.
Got to start small to think big picture.
And they're going to end up big now, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's a great program that they have going on there. We have clouds on the increase this evening. We have rain on the increase a little bit tomorrow, much more so coming up over the weekend. Pattern change back to normal December weather, which is rain every couple days. 65 in Oakland today, warm in Oakland. San Jose not too far behind. Half Moon Bay also hit 64. Fremont, Napa, San Francisco, all well above average. Normal is about 55 or 56. We beat that by lunchtime today. Tomorrow evening, I will be showing you rain around this time for San Francisco, for Hayward, for Redwood City, Palo Alto, and Livermore. It won't be the heaviest rain, but it's going to hit the evening commute and certainly slow things down. If you want to go ice skating in San Jose, Saturday is your choice. It'll be dry Saturday. Rain is likely by Sunday afternoon. That's the stronger of the two weather systems. And speaking of Santa Clara, we've got a football game. The Seahawks are in town, 1:05 kickoff. Prepare for rain. I don't think at the beginning of the game, but as you're driving home, a much better chance of having some steady rainfall coming up Sunday evening, even in Santa Clara. So here's the wide picture. The ridge of high pressure that gave us the dry weather the past several days kept the storm track to the north. That is beginning to exit. As it leaves, the pattern's changing. Here's a big dip in the jet stream. The leading edge of this weather change will give us some light rain tomorrow around this time, and a second round of heavier soaking rainfall is likely coming up on Sunday. Some more clouds overnight tonight. Will be cloudy with light rain mainly in the afternoon tomorrow. We get a break on Saturday, stronger storm with some pretty rough surf at the beach. We're talking swells up to about 17 to 21 feet. That's high. That's coming up Sunday night and Monday morning. So we have two rounds of rain. One gets us tomorrow. One gets us on Sunday. Now in the North Bay, you may get an isolated shower Saturday morning as the first front kind of washes out. But plan on a little bit of wet weather this time tomorrow. Plan on a lot of wet weather Sunday night. Could get an inch of rainfall Sunday night. And then after that, the pattern dries out again. Monday through Thursday, 50s and 60s with mainly dry weather. But the pattern is shifting wetter for about 2 or 3 days. That's your forecast.
All right, we'll get the umbrellas ready.
Thanks.
A mega pop star uses a surprising method to protect herself, and fans at her concert had no idea. The secret surveillance that raises some privacy concerns.
I'm Dennis O'Donnell live at the Embarcadero Holiday Ice Rink. Hello, everybody. Say hello to the audience. I tell you what, we had a much better time than the Golden State Warriors, right? That story on the other side. We're at the Holiday Ice Rink at Embarcadero Center. Say hello to all of my friends, Jacoby and Nairobi. I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, are you guys Warrior fans?
Yes.
Okay.
The Warriors.
Did you see them last night?
No.
Okay, they weren't very good. Jacoby, I'm going to give you an update. How bad were the Warriors last night? Your mother's meatloaf was a better option than being at Oracle.
I'm sure they had home-cooked meals and dinners to get to and all that type of stuff. They didn't want to see us, getting beat like that.
Those who did stick around saw the Raptors without Kawhi Leonard hand the Warriors a 20-point loss to sweep the season series. Jacoby, you're not happy about that. Now, today at practice, there were no words.
Anything about the game that you like that you guys did?
Not really. Not really. Not really.
Okay, now who's a 49er fan?
Oh, no, I'm not a 49er fan.
Are you a 49er fan?
No.
Oh, no, okay. Well, you might want to see this story. The 49ers host the Seahawks on Sunday, and 2 weeks ago, Richard Sherman gave the Seattle Seahawks enough bulletin board material to fill grammar school.
It's not like they're 8-1 or 12-1. If they were that, I'd be very surprised. But, kind of middle of the road.
Seahawks defensive end Frank Clark fired back saying, quote, he's not in this locker room no more, so his opinion really doesn't matter. This is my team now. This is my defense. Richard Sherman, his era is over.
It's like a mouse in a room. It's like kids say the darndest things. It didn't bother me at all. It just seemed like a guy who's probably tired of hearing the same questions. Like, I wasn't even part of that game, and they're still asking him questions after the game about me. I'll probably be pretty annoyed, too.
Sherman's not going to like this, but Seattle can clinch a playoff berth if they beat the 49ers on Sunday. How about that? Hey, who's going to Stanford? No comment. Stanford women's volleyball jacked out of their minds to be back in the Final Four. The Cardinals look like every bit the #1 ranked team in the country. They made quick work of BYU, winning in straight sets to advance in the finals on Saturday. They are 33-1 this season. And finally, Stanford basketball fans, check out who's coming to an arena near you. Frank Bolivia, St. Regis High in Denver, threw it down. Tara Vanderer may want to put that in the playbook because Bolivia is set to attend Stanford next fall. I suggest you all work hard and go to Stanford. Jerobi? Okay, everybody skate away, have a great time. The Embarcadero Ice Center is open until 9:30 and 11:30 weeknights, Friday and Saturday, 11:30. So come on, have a good time,
Dennis,
and join my friends.
Dennis, triple axel, Dennis.
Don't let the Zamboni take you out there, Dennis.
This guy's going to hold me up.
There
See you later. See ya.
Always a crutch. That
Oh,
boy,
my
Dennis.
goodness, Dennis.
Know how to lean on your help.
All right, coming up in our next half hour tonight, a Russian spy comes clean. What she admitted about her attempts to interfere in the U.S. presidential election.
And Virgin Galactic's journey to the edge of space, a major milestone in the push to send private tourists on the trip of a lifetime.
And look out, In and Out, a sneak peek at the first Shake Shack opening in the Bay Area.
Our top story at 6:30. The woman accused of working as a Russian spy makes her appearance in federal court today. She is the first to be prosecuted for trying to interfere with the 2016 presidential election. Maria Butina admitted to conspiring to infiltrate influential conservative organizations to advance the interest of the Russian Federation.
Nicole Killian reports her cooperation could shed light on Moscow's meddling in the U.S.
Maria Butina, the woman accused of being a secret agent for the Russian government, pled guilty to one count of conspiracy against the United States in federal court Thursday.
I'm a representative of Russian Federation here.
According to court documents, the 30-year-old took steps to develop relationships with American politicians in order to advance the interest of Russia. Prosecutors say Butina landed on the FBI's radar after she tried making contact with conservative leaders and the National Rifle Association. Butina is also accused of trying to arrange a meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, but her criminal case is not connected to Robert Mueller's ongoing probe into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Mr. Putin denied knowing Butina at all during a meeting with the Presidential Human Rights Council. Butina is facing possible prison time and deportation. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
French police have shot and killed the suspected gunman who attacked a Christmas market earlier this week. French officials have now confirmed 29-year-old Sharif Chakat as the main suspect in the Christmas market attack. Chakat had been on the run since Tuesday night, but police located the 29-year-old at a nearby warehouse, and that's when the gunfire erupted. Chakat was shot and killed by French police during that shootout.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says she's comfortable with setting term limits for senior leadership positions. The 78-year-old just agreed to serve no more than 4 years as House Speaker if she's elected.
That's a long time. I was saying that one term was what I was saying. They were saying 6 months to begin with. I feel very comfortable about what they are proposing, and I feel very responsible to do that, whether it passes or not.
By agreeing to the term limit, Pelosi won over Democrats who've wanted to clear the way for younger leadership. The vote for House Speaker comes next month. And the next space race kicked up a notch today.
Yeah, this was between a trio of businessmen hoping to carry commercial passengers into orbit. KPIX5's Ken Bastida has today's giant step. Ken?
Yeah, out of this world, guys. Today was a test flight by Richard Branson's company, Virgin Galactic. 2 pilots launched to the edge of space. They were aboard Virgin spaceship Unity. It was launched from the belly of a plane that took off from the Mojave Desert. 45,000 feet. It separated. Rockets were turned on, and it went up more than 51 miles above the Earth. Besides the pilots, there was a mannequin on board representing a future passenger.
I'm really hopeful that a lot of people watching your program one day will be able to go to space. And that's our aim, is to try to make it safe and affordable for as many people as possible.
Unity landed safely back on the desert. Branson is competing with fellow billionaires Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk in the race to get tourists into space. More than 600 people have signed up to fly Virgin Galactic for about $250,000 each. Branson says that he wants to be one of the first to go, maybe sometime next year. No word on how the mannequin liked the ride. Back to you.
And he went for free. All right, Ken, thanks. An unusual, to say the least, discovery on board a Southwest flight forced that plane to make a U-turn. Happened on a Southwest flight headed to Dallas. The crew discovered a forgotten human donor heart on board. And hours into the flight, they headed back for Seattle, making for a 3-hour delay. Most passengers said that they didn't mind the delay and they were happy to save a life.
Taylor Swift tries to weed out stalkers, but her method has some concert fans feeling a little creeped out.
And a billionaire gets an unusual penance for breaking the rules with his wedding, and how you can reap the benefit.
Good evening to you. Meteorologist Paul Diano helping you get ready for tomorrow morning. What's the weather going to look like? Well, clouds are going to roll in. Cloudy with some sprinkles at the coast. We'll have temperatures around 50 degrees near the bay, mainly cloudy inland, 44 degrees as you get up and ready tomorrow. KPIX5's Mary Lee will have your up-to-the-minute forecast tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
Well, a mega pop star is taking some heat for using facial recognition technology. Taylor Swift and her people reportedly used the software at her Rose Bowl concert earlier this year in Pasadena. Now, it was in place to help identify, they say, stalkers. According to Rolling Stone, a kiosk was set up that allowed fans to view clips of Taylor Swift rehearsing. As they watched, images of their faces were captured and sent to a command post in Nashville. Those images were then cross-referenced with Swift's known stalkers Unclear if law enforcement took any action following the results. Some experts say that Taylor Swift should have informed fans that that technology was being used.
Today, beach lovers are getting an unusual gift from one Bay Area tech tycoon. Facebook billionaire Sean Parker launched an app called Your Coast. Your Coast gives users information about 1,500 beaches in California. It describes little-known trails that lead to hidden beaches. It's kind of a community service project for Parker. He violated California coastal laws 5 years ago with an extravagant wedding in Big Sur. He paid over $2 million in fines as well.
Challenging In-N-Out in the fast food wars. The juicy details on Shake Shack's debut in the Bay Area.
Cine Sleep World's triple bonus mattress sale. Visit sleepworld.com.
Live look at SFO and the Oakland airport. Pretty calm tonight, but you know the crush is coming. Holiday travel numbers this year are expected to set new records. AAA predicts 112 million people will be traveling more than 50 miles in the coming weeks. That is the highest number they've seen since they started keeping records in 2001. AAA also says this will be the 7th straight year of reaching a new high, and they credit the strong economy for that.
The job market monitoring site Comparably is out with its annual list of the best places for women to work across the United States. Some of the top large companies on that list: Facebook, Google, and Starbucks. Also, the dating app Bumble. Female employees rated their companies on different factors, including compensation and workplace culture.
A new group of rock stars will be inducted next week into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Stevie Nicks is already a member of the Hall of Fame thanks to being a member of Fleetwood Mac. Now she'll be mentioned in her own right. And the others include the rock bands Def Leppard, The Cure, Radiohead, and the Zombies, and also Janet Jackson.
A popular burger joint is opening its first Bay Area store this Saturday. Shake Shack has a big following on the East Coast and in Southern California. It's known for its burgers, fries, and shakes. Many people often compare the fast food chain to In-N-Out. Shake Shack representatives say they will partner with local growers to bring fresh products to their customers. They will also sell beer and wine. So we asked burger lovers, which one is better, In-N-Out or Shake Shack?
Shake Shack fries, In-N-Out burgers.
It's a toss-up. Personally, though, Shake Shack has grown on me a lot lately. There's a lot more variety. In-N-Out's a classic, but Shake Shack has a lot of different cool options.
Many Shake Shack fans say it's long overdue to have one in the Bay Area. Shake Shack will open on Saturday at the Stanford Shopping Center in Palo Alto. I'm starving right now.
Equal time. Equal time for every burger. You know, we're willing to try them all.
And
Yeah,
if you have
seriously.
4 hours to burn, you can wait in line at the drive-thru of In-N-Out for the burger, and then go wait 2 more hours at Shake Shack, which is the average wait time for the fries. So
Sounds like a plan.
it'll be 4 hours well spent once you're eating the food.
And then go Christmas shopping.
Oh, genius. Alan has our weekend figured out, and I choose Sunday because that's the day we're going to be inside eating burgers and maybe doing some online shopping because it's going to rain on Sunday. It's Thursday evening. We're clear in the skies right now, but that will change by tomorrow morning. We're cooling off rapidly. Livermore down to 50, Santa Rosa 51, San Francisco and Oakland also in the mid to upper 50s. Not as cold tonight because clouds are moving in. Santa Rosa, you will stay in the 40s. Concord, you will stay in the 40s. San Jose 45 and San Francisco only dropping to 51 degrees. Radar's clear tonight. We will see some light rain move into the North Bay late tomorrow morning. It will cross San Pablo Bay and the Carquinez Straits around lunchtime and then work its way south, and it will impact the evening commute tomorrow. This may be the biggest impact of anything that we do over the next several days. The surf at the coastline is going to get rough, and likely the roughest surf of the season, perhaps even longer than that. Look at the height of the swells, running 17 to 21 feet. If you don't know what you're doing in the water, not the best day on Sunday to go in the water. Please use extreme caution. Sunday night, Monday morning, the roughest surf and some of the roughest surf we've seen in a while. Lafayette tomorrow. We will see some afternoon rainfall for you, so cloudy, light rain, high of 60. We get a dry break on Saturday before a more significant storm comes in on Sunday, giving us more widespread rainfall. So the pattern is changing because we're watching a ridge of high pressure exit and a trough of low pressure begin to move in. One front moves in tomorrow, but the storm track's still pretty far to the north, so we're not going to see that much rainfall, but then the storm track moves farther to the south into Northern California on Sunday, and that second round is going to provide about 90 to 95% of the rainfall that we're talking about. So tomorrow morning around lunchtime, Napa County, Solano County, Sonoma County getting some rain. It does work its way south and weaken as it gets farther away from the area of low pressure up in the northwest. But we will have rain this time tomorrow. There will be some light to moderate rain on the radar and likely in your backyard. A few spotty showers possible Saturday morning, lasting in the North Bay through the evening. And we see the beginning of that steadier soaking rainfall late Sunday morning into the afternoon. Once again, things moving north to south. It's Sunday evening. We'll get about a 3 to 6 hour window of some steady soaking rain, which will add up in the rain bucket pretty quickly. Rainfall totals from the first system, not that much. About 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain. That's the stuff we get tomorrow. We now fast forward to Sunday and add that rainfall on top of it. Now we're getting some pretty decent rain totals. 1 inch Concord and Hayward, a little bit less for San Jose, but still almost 1 inch of rainfall. 2 in Mendocino County and 1.5 inches in Santa Rosa. So most of the rain falling Sunday, although we will get some rain tomorrow. So lighter rain Friday, soaking rain Sunday. Good chunk of Saturday right in between. That's your dry choice over the weekend. And the roughest surf of the season is likely Sunday night, 3 nights from now. Concord tomorrow still above average despite the rain. 61 degrees, some afternoon rain for you. Los Gatos 62, Mountain View 63, Pacifica 59 degrees. San Ramon 61 for you, Fairfield 59, Antioch 59, Mill Valley 58, Alameda 59 degrees. Plan on some late morning rain for Sonoma and Napa, highs around 60, and plan on mid-morning rainfall for you in Lake County, high of 53 degrees in Clear Lake, Middletown, and Lakeport tomorrow. We're in between weather systems on Saturday. Late Sunday, we get some soaking rain. Timing is good because by Monday morning, that rain's finished, and most of next week is looking dry with highs in the 50s and 60s. So rough surf and some soaking rain coming up on Sunday. That's your forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. Bay Area food banks rely on the generosity of local companies to help feed families in need.
And tonight's contribution will certainly go a long way. KPIX5's Kenny Choi with our Food for Bay Area Families Drive.
These food bins are full, but there's still definitely a need during this time of year, during the holiday season when so many people need some help. One of the organizations helping out at the San Francisco Marin Food Bank here, Kaiser Permanente, and Dr. Ansari. Tell us why Kaiser is so involved with this food bank.
We at Kaiser Permanente really believe that access to healthy food is an essential ingredient to total health. So we're really proud to partner and sponsor the San Francisco Marin Food Bank for over 10 years. We are excited to give you a big contribution today.
Wonderful. The check in the amount of
$150,000. This represents our commitment to vulnerable populations to work with you to help children grow, help seniors stay active, help young adults work and focus. We have been supporting the San Francisco Marin Food Bank for over 10 years, and our physicians, our nurses, our staff have been volunteering over 2,000 hours to this important organization.
Dr. Ansari, thank you for your contribution in Kaiser Permanente. And Paul, just tell us how far will this go in helping people here in the Bay Area?
This is a big check. It'll go a long way. It's going to help us move more food, fresh food, through this warehouse. It's also going to allow us to help sign people up for CalFresh. We know if our families can get CalFresh and use the food bank, those two resources will help them feed their families.
You guys do so much to help people here in the Bay Area. And if you'd like to help, you could always go to our website, which is kpix.com/give.
All right, Kenny, let's check back in. Dennis O'Donnell, see if he's still standing at the Embarcadero skating rink. How you doing, Dennis?
Hey, Dennis.
I got to tell you something. Christmas break is coming for everybody, but one high school is still in action, going for the state championship. Who are we talking about?
Liberty High School is next.
Be right back.
And coming up on Bay Area Night Beat, Paul mentioned there is an unusual wave warning for Bay Area beachgoers with 6-story surf headed our way. One weather expert says not even the sand will be safe. We'll have details tonight at 10 over on our sister station. Come join us. That's KBCW 44, Cable 12.
Dennis O'Donnell, a very busy man on the ice tonight at the Embarcadero.
He is still standing, and he's back one final time.
With friends.
I'm in a great mood, Alan, Veronica. I know the 49ers and Raiders aren't going to the NFL playoffs, but one Bay Area team is going to the playoffs. In fact, to the state championship. Give it up to Liberty High School.
Down. To go. The campus is fired up. The community's fired up. Like I say each week, corn country will travel well.
Call it corn country, call it the Delta. The city of Brentwood is hoping you call it Titletown thanks to their Liberty Lions.
Looking for an Easter!
In just his second year as head coach, Ryan Partridge has Liberty playing at a level never seen before.
Before I got here, we'd won one playoff game in the 100-year history of the school. So it's, I mean, it seems like every win we have lately has been a historical win. I mean, absolutely, a state championship for this community is huge.
I don't really understand that. That's that big. Everyone's like huge about it, and it's just like, oh, we just keep winning.
Senior linebacker Nikki Innes would prefer to lead the frenzy in Brentwood when Liberty travels to play Sierra Canyon on Saturday. Innes won't play, though, after being stretchered off last weekend.
It was a head injury. Nothing else is wrong with him.
At the time, the Lions were tied with Valley Christian in the NorCal final.
I talked to him right before. I said, we're going to go win this thing for you. And he just said, please do. And it choked me up the way he said, please do.
We basically played the rest of that game out for Nicky. He obviously wanted us to get a W. Unfortunately, he won't be playing this week. He won't be able to be cleared, but this week we'll for sure be playing for him.
Quarterback Jay Butterfield threw the go-ahead touchdown in the big win. Jay is the son of former Stanford quarterback Mark Butterfield, who is now a Liberty assistant coach.
Just heck of a coach. And he's not dad to Jay, he's Coach Butter.
He taught me, that he's my coach on the field, and after, when we're at the dinner table or something, I call him Dad there.
Father and son want to help bring the Lions a state title for Corn Country pride.
We're the very last game played in the state of California, and there's something to say about that.
Now, everybody was asking, who's Liberty playing? Charlie here is going to assist me. Charlie, who is Liberty playing?
Sierra Canyon.
Sierra Canyon.
Oh, excellent. Okay, everybody?
Go Liberty! Happy holidays!
Okay, we're having a great time here at the Embarcadero Ice Center holiday rink, and you can come out here. It goes into January. We're having a great time. Any broken ankles or ACLs yet? Okay, everybody skate off. Had a great time. Thanks for joining Channel 5 tonight. Charlie, see you later.
Dennis, that's my son right there.
So good luck to Liberty.
Can you grab my son?
What?
I just saw him go by. He's wearing a helmet. He was standing where
Where's
there he
your
is.
son?
There's my son. Oh my gosh.
Where?
Right there, right in front of you. That's Hartley.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. This is my son.
Don't let him fall. Now you got to hold him the rest of the show.
Yes.
Hi, Hartley.
Say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mommy.
Oh.
Good kid.
Are you having fun?
She's a great mommy, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see if he can skate.
Be careful. Don't fall.
He's not bad. He's
They're
not
better
bad.
than you, Dennis.
He's not bad. I got your son.
Hey, Hartley, you holding Dennis up? Yeah, Hold him up for
He's
30
got
more
better
seconds.
balance than I do.
He's seen your work.
Wow. Takes after mommy. Good job, Hartley.
Careful, the
Good
ones
job.
behind you. There you go. I think the Grinch
Dennis
is back
knocked
there.
over 3 or 4 kids.
Hasn't he? He's taking them out left and right. We'll get him back here.
I think Dennis took out 4 of them.
Yeah, right. All right, produce throughout the evening. The latest always on KPIX.com.
Don't forget to join us tonight for Night Beat and back here tonight at 11. Have a good one.
Good night.